Hi students, now we are going to see how we apply our Biot-Savart law in order to find the magnetic field on the axis of a circular loop. We have studied about Biot-Savart law. Now we are going to see how we apply that Biot-Savart law in order to find the magnetic field on the axis of a circular loop. This is our figure. In this figure, you can see a circular loop of radius A which carries a current I. Current I is flowing through the circular loop. And you can see a point P which is on the axis of the circular loop at a distance r from the center. Here A is the radius of the circular loop and we have a point P which is at a distance r from the center, and the point P lies on the axis of the circular loop, and we are going to find the magnetic field at the point P. Okay. Here, to find the magnetic field at the point P, we assume that this circular loop is divided into small segments. We call those segments as current elements. We divide the circular loop into small current elements, and dl is one of the current elements. And first we find what is the magnetic field at the point P due to this current element dl. We have already studied the equation for the magnetic field from our Biot-Savart law. What is the equation? dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl, yes, sin theta by distance square. What is the distance? I will write the equation. dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sin theta by distance square. Here you can see three distances. Which distance we take? Here distance means it is the distance between the point P and the current element. So it is S. So it is S square. Okay. Now can you tell me what is the value of theta here? For this case, can you tell me the value of theta? What is actually theta? It is the angle between the current element dl and this distance OP. And from the figure, it is clear that the angle between them is 90 degree. So we can substitute that value here in this equation. So dB will become, dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl. Here the angle is 90 degree. So it is sin 90 divided by S square. We know sin 90 is 1. So dB will become, dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl. This is 1. So it is I dl by S square. Why theta is 90? Because dl is perpendicular to S. dl is perpendicular to S. That is why theta equal to 90 degree. Then it is the angle between the current element dl and this distance OP. So what is the angle between them? It makes an angle 90 degree with each other. That is, since dl is perpendicular to this distance OP. OP means S. So they will make an angle 90 degree. So we can substitute 90 degree in this equation. So dB will become, we can write dB as, dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sine 90 divided by s square, since dl is perpendicular to s, theta equal to 90 degree. So dB is equal to this, and we know sine 90 is 1, so this equation again becomes dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sine 91, so it is I dl by s square, and the direction of dB is shown by this PQ represents direction of dB. So we got the magnitude of the magnetic field produced by the current element dl, and this is the equation. Now this dB, that is the direction is shown by this line, dB can be resolved into two components. One is along the axis. Along the axis means this, and it has one more component which is perpendicular to the axis, and I will draw that component like this. And we have already studied this component can be written as dB cos phi. You have studied this in maths. This component is dB cos phi, and this component is given by dB sin phi. For this element, if you consider this loop, it has a diametrically opposite point. This is the diametrically opposite point of this. Then the magnetic field is also contributed by this current element also. So we have to consider that, and this PQ dash represents the direction of the magnetic field contributed by this current element, and it must also be resolved into the component form. It has also two components. One is perpendicular to the axis, and it is equal to dB cos phi, and one is along the axis. It is again dB sin phi. So these are the components. The magnitude of the magnetic field is resolved into two. One is along the axis of the circular loop, and other is perpendicular to the axis. And dB cos phi is the component perpendicular to the axis, and dB sin phi is the component of magnetic field which is along the axis. Then we have already derived the magnitude of the magnetic field. It is equal to dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl by s square. So when you consider the figure, you can see that these two components are having same magnitude, but they are in opposite direction. So what will happen to these components? They will cancel each other because they are having same magnitude. dB is the same for both, but the direction is just opposite. So these components, that is the component of magnetic field which is perpendicular to the axis, will cancel out. So the magnetic field is only contributed by this component, that is the components which are along the axis, that is it is only contributed by dB sin phi. Therefore the total magnetic field at the point P is given by B. We can write B as the total magnetic field. So how we write how we find the total magnetic field. We know dB sin phi is the only component which contributes to the magnetic field, and from this how we find the total magnetic field. We have already studied the circular loop is divided into small elements, so we have to consider the contribution due to each element. So to find the total magnetic field, we integrate the small contribution. So it is integral dB sin phi, which is equal to B is equal to integral, what is dB? dB is mu 0 by 4 pi I dl by s square into sin phi. Okay. Again consider this figure. What is sin phi? Sin phi means opposite side by hypotenuse. So it is a by s is sin phi. So we can write this equation as B is equal to integral mu 0 by 4 pi I dl by s square into, what is sin phi? It is a by s into a by s. We can write, since sin phi is equal to a by s. So this equation can be written as B is equal to integral mu 0 by 4 pi I dl into a by s square. Then let us integrate, and we know when you integrate, all the constant terms must be taken outside. So this equation will become B is equal to mu 0 4 pi I is the current flowing through the element, A is the radius of the circular loop, and S is the distance. So all these are constants and we can take all constants outside. Okay. And one more thing here, S into S is, S square into S is S cube, not S square. So we can take the constant terms outside. So it will become mu 0 by 4 pi I A by S cube. Then remaining is integral dl, that is the length of the current element can be varied. So it is only the changing term, varying term. So we integrate with respect to that. Then can you tell me what is integral dl? That is, dl means it is the length of the current element. And we know the circular loop is made up of such small current elements. So when you integrate such small current elements, what do you get actually? Yes, we get the circumference of the circular loop. And we know circumference of a circle is equal to 2 pi into radius. So here it is 2 pi a. So this integral dl can be written as 2 pi a because it is equal to the circumference, which is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I a by s cube into integral dl is circumference of the circular loop, it is equal to 2 pi a. And here 2 pi and 4 pi, and after cancelling in the denominator we have 2, and mu 0 I a into a is a square by s cube. I will write that, which is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I a square into 2 pi by s cube. After cancelling, we get B as mu 0 by 2 into IA square by S cube. Again, consider this figure. What is S square from this figure? If you consider this right angle triangle OCP, you can write S square as A square plus R square. That is S square, since S square is equal to R square plus A square. So what is S from this equation? S is equal to, we have to take the square root. So we can write that as square root of R square plus A square. Square root can be written as R square plus A square raised to 1 by 2. Or what is S cube? S cube is equal to R square plus A square raised to 3 by 2. So we can write, instead of S cube, we can write that as R square plus A square raised to 3 by 2. So that can be written here. Therefore B is equal to mu 0 by 2 into IA square divided by R square plus A square raised to 3 by 2. This is the equation of the total magnetic field on the axis of a circular loop. And if the coil has n turns, that is, if like this, I will show you. Instead of a single single turn, if the loop has got n number of turns, that is like this. We can write the total magnetic field as, we have to consider the contribution from the each turn. From each turn we have to consider the contribution. So it will become mu 0 by 2 NIA square divided by R square plus A square raised to 3 by 2. So this is how we calculate the magnetic field on the axis of a circular loop. Now let us consider the special cases.